Chapter 39:28. Third more. Well, what are the 3 Earth stars in this horoscope? Jian Wushuang asked suddenly. This haha. Xian Shinto smiled. Tenhu Xiaoyu, you forgot, you went to visit the ancient night demon in person, and after the visit, the ruler of the emperor ran in person. Come to my star palace to pay for your sins, and soon afterward, news came out saying that you fought against the ancient night demon king, and you defeated the ancient night demon king. Before the ancient night demon king, this star domain is recognized as the first strongman. Even the top master Tianpeng master can't pass a trick in his hands, but you can win the ancient night demon king, and it's just the ruler. As soon as the news comes out, my star house's status in this star field will immediately change. Before, although my star palace was barely considered a big force because of your rise, it was still not the top one. But you did not need my star palace to do anything after the battle with the ancient night demon king. Most of the powerful people in this star field will naturally attribute my star house to one of the top forces, and there is no need to think of any way for my star house. There are countless strong people who come forward and want to join my star house. Of course, my horoscope is also coming. In less than 1,000 years, the ruler of our horoscope has exceeded 10,000 people. What? Jian Wushuang was startled. When he first went to Eternal Dark Prison, the rulers of the Star Palace had all been just over 1,000 people. In less than 1,000 years, it has grown from 1,000 people to over 10,000 people. It's too fast. There are too many rulers, and a single Earth star can no longer satisfy the Star House, so in recent years we have spent some money. We have found 2 unmanned Earth stars in this star field. It moved here, and the 3 Earth stars were juxtaposed, so that it has the current palace. Xian Shinto humane. Is that so? Sword unparalleled. I have to admit that the current star palace is indeed much stronger than it used to be. It is a good thing that the Shingon becomes stronger. The more powerful you are, the more you will have to fight against the Devil Star, and I will have more chances of victory in the world. Jian Wushuang smiled. As soon as Jian Wushuang mentioned Demon Star, the look of Xian Shinto became dignified. Heavenly friend, there is something I must tell you. Xian Shindao stared at Jian Wushuang. What? How dignified? Jian Wushuang asked. It's Demon Star. Mysterious Taoist solemnly said, my star house has been installed in the star field where Demon Star is located, and I've been paying attention to Demon Star's movements. Years ago, there was a message from the eyeliner over there, Lord of the Clouds, out of customs. Wu Jian's eyes narrowed sharply. He knows that the reason why Demon Star hasn't been moving for years is because the Demon Star has been in retreat, and it is still the most important stage of retreat. It's possible that once the Demon Star Master has cleared the level, I am afraid that he should break through to reach the 4th level Master level, and he will definitely act. Jian Wushuang has been preparing for how to deal with the Lord of the Clouds, and he also hopes that the Lord of the Clouds will retreat a little longer and give himself more preparation time so that he can deal with the Lord of the Clouds. The certainty will also be greater. But now, the Lord of the Devil Clouds, have you prepared to leave? Jian Wushuang asked. Not ready to leave, but has already left. Xian Shinto humane, according to the news from the eyeliner over there, Demon Star has already begun to prepare a long time ago. Just 1 year after the Lord of the Demon Stars went out, the Demon Star led his army to leave the star field directly. Most powerful people in that star field did not know the purpose of the Demon Star army, but Demon Star is waiting for me. How long do we have? Jian Wushuang asked. At most 1,000 years. Xian Shinto humane. What? Jian Wushuang was frightened, his eyebrows tightened. How could it be so fast? Wouldn't it take at least tens of thousands of years to get here from Demon Star? Yes, under normal circumstances, it takes tens of thousands of years for a master to be from the star field where Demon Star is located, but the Lord of Demon Star is the 2nd level astral planet. Lord, the means are extremely good, and he also has a cosmic boat in his hand. Mysterious Shinto man just said this. Spaceship. Jian Wushuang stunned. Before he met the Lord of Mars, he may not know what this spaceship is, but after meeting the Lord of Mars and riding the spacecraft himself, he is no stranger to this spacecraft. Jain is able to shuttle quickly in the cosmic void. Even the lowest cosmic boat, The speed of shuttle in the universe is dozens of times or even hundreds of times faster than the average master. By the cosmic boat instead of hurrying, the arrival time of the demon star army must have slowed down significantly. The cosmic boat is very strange. The speed of shuttle in the cosmic void is too fast. At most 1,000 years, the army of the demon star must be able to reach this starfield, and it will not even take 1,000 years. In this millennium, I have to make all the preparations to meet the battle with the demon star. Xian Shinto Man solemnly said. Within 1,000 years. Jian was eyes narrowed. The people in the space and time hall next to the Lord of the Time and Space, the Lord of the Heavens and the Emperor 13 were not very good looking. Within 1,000 years, a war with the demon star will erupt. This war is about the life and death of the gods in the early days. Once defeated, they may be able to flee elsewhere in the universe, relying on their own strength, like Zhen Wushuang. With his strength and talent, they should also be able to live well in other territories, but in the early days, their hometown was over. In order to enhance his own strength, the Lord of the Demon Clouds will completely crush the pre-god realm. By then, the pre-god realm will collapse and disintegrate in the shortest time. Countless practitioners during this period, except for the top group, can outside the universe. No one else can survive. No one can accept this result. Such as Zhen Wushuang, his relatives, his wife, and many of his friends are in Taichu God Realm. Taichu God Realm is the hometown of their birth and their roots. For Zhen Wushuang, Taichu God Realm is still him. Shizuan Xuani had to fight to protect the existence. Xian Yi created him after he died, and he began to inherit his master's mantle and became a new perfect life. He had an innate mission. This mission was to regain the primordial deities and shelter the primordial gods. Everything in the world. Therefore, they cannot afford to lose in this war, they must win. Chapter 39-29. Fourth more. Less than 1,000 years, too little time for us to prepare. Jian Wushuangdao. It's rare. It's not long before we got the triple path. It's only a few thousand years, and we have only just begun to build strong people. If you give us some more time, it won't take long. It only takes tens of thousands of years. There will be countless rulers and a large number of masters in the world. The overall strength will be increased. I do know how many times. But there is no way. We do have that much time. Now we can only make the best use of this time. Do everything. Shun Xiandaoshan said. A few of the masters around him also nodded. They can't complain that the magic cloud star came too suddenly and the time is too short. They can only do as much as possible and do more preparations in the past millennium. I came back this time and brought back a group of strong men. Zhen Wushuang said suddenly. At the scene, the eyes of several masters immediately looked at Zhen Wushuang. A batch of strong men? How many? Xian Shinto asked. Dozens of people. Zhen Wushuangdao. Just a few dozen people? Xian Shinto people disapproved. Those who are strong are now in the void outside the Star Palace. You still follow me to see for yourself. Zhen Wushuang had already swept away outside the Star Palace. The 6 masters looked at each other, and although confused, they immediately followed. He and his party left the horoscope, and soon came to the void where the cosmic boat stayed. Across the distance, the 6 masters saw the huge spacecraft. What is this? What a big ship, and can stay in the void of the universe. Is this the legendary spacecraft? 26 masters all showed their astonishment. Because they knew that the Demon Star army could resist this starfield within 1,000 years, because the Demon Star had a cosmic boat in its hands. As for the cosmic boats, they have heard of some. They can shuttle in the cosmic void and naturally stay. The huge boat in front of them is obviously similar to the cosmic boat. It's a space boat, but it's not complete. Those strong men I brought back are waiting on the boat. Zhen Wushuang smiled. The 6 masters also saw dozens of figures standing on the cosmic boat. Each of those dozens of figures exudes a terrifying atmosphere, or it is cold like a heaven and earth ice cellar, or it becomes a huge black hole, or it is unruly, or it is like an axe breaking the sky. One figure at a time, each one is enough to frighten people. perceived the horror breath emanating from the dozens of people on the cosmic boat, the six masters, Xian Shinto, the Lord of Time and Space, the Lord of the Heavens, the Emperor Zizang, and Xian Yang, all drank coldly. Qi, the bottom of my heart instantly caused a huge wave. Just now, they didn't take it for granted that Jian Wushuang had brought back a group of strong men, but now this group of strong men stood in front of them, but made the six of them totally frightened. Master, all masters. It's not an ordinary master yet. I can sense that these dozens of people are all ridiculously strong, even stronger than the top masters I've seen before. Too strong. Who are these people? The six masters shivered. They had to tremble, so they stood there at the moment, standing in front of the spacecraft, and the dozens of powerful figures on the spacecraft glanced at them from time to time. A glance at them casually made them feel cold inside, as if they had already walked on the edge of death. So horrible. These dozens of figures casually come up with one, their strength is absolutely crushing them. I stand in front of a group of such top powerhouses. Although they are also the masters, they dare not come out. I only have Sword Wushuang, who fell on the cosmic boat indiscriminately. The host. Immediately, the dozens of horrifying figures shook the six masters of the mysterious Shinto priests, and they went down together to worship. And they worshipped and shouted, apparently Jian Wushuang. Master. The heads of the six Shinto men were a little cyanotic. Let's all get up. Jian Wushuang waved his hand. 41 slaves, including the Lord of Dragons, stood up, but the eyebrows still showed humility and respect. Heavenly friend, what is going on? Xian Shinto came forward, but his eyes still shocked like never before. I have just said that they are the strong ones I brought back from a dangerous place in the universe battlefield. They have been trapped in that dangerous place for a long time before, and I can help them get away, but as a condition, they have to follow me and play for me for 100,000 years. Jian Wushuang smiled. Serve for you. 100,000 years. The mysterious Shinto man took a cool breath, but immediately followed him and asked, what are the strengths of these people? How do I feel that their strength is very arrogant and very terrible? Each of them has the combat power of the third-level master, and they are still very strong in the third-level master. Of course, it is very scary for you. Jian Wushuang laughed. Third-level master? Xian Shendao stared at the back of the space and time hall master. The Lord of the Heavens and Heavens were also frightened, even lips were trembling. He was only Emperor 13, but at the moment he was quite puzzled. What is the third order master? It didn't take long for him to break through and become the master, and he had just entered the battlefield of the universe, and he didn't know some of the division of the master. Jian Wushuang smiled and said, Master, divided into many different levels according to the number of rules that are merged. Although you are now the top master, but only the first level master, if you integrate another rule, then that is, the second level dominates, and the third level dominates the gate, and the 6 rules must be merged at the same time. In our star field, the second level master can be said to be an invincible power. Just say that ancient Night Demon King, he is only the peak of the second level master. These people behind me, you can easily take out one, and you can easily kill the ancient Night Demon. Any of these people are better than the ancient Night Demon King. Anyone can easily kill the ancient Night Demon King. Even the cold-tempered Emperor 13 was completely shocked at this moment. You know, he has heard the name of the ancient Night Demon King more than once during these years in the universe battlefield. For the most powerful in this star field, the ancient Night Devil is still terrible. But now these people brought back by Jian Wushuang, even one of them is better than the ancient Night Devil. But there are more than 40 people here. Chapter 3930. A batch of rulers less than 1,000 years. There's too little time for us to prepare, Jian Wushuang said. Yes, it's too little. We've only been in the triple realm for a few thousand years. We've only just begun to create experts. If we have more time, it won't take long. In just tens of thousands of years, countless principles masters will emerge in the divine beginning realm. A large batch of rulers will increase their overall strength by many times. But we can't help it. We don't have that much time. We can only make the best use of the nearly 1,000 years to do everything well, Daoist Shen God said in a deep voice. The surrounding masters also nodded. They could not complain that Devil Cloudstar's arrival was too sudden and too short. They could only do as much as they could and make more preparations in the last 1,000 years. Everyone, I have brought back a group of experts, Zhen Wushuang suddenly said. The masters immediately looked at Zhen Wushuang. A group of experts. How many are there? Daoist Shen God asked. Dozens of them, Zhen Wushuang said. Just dozens. Daoist Shen God did not think much of it. Everyone, those experts are in the void outside Star Palace. You'd better follow me and see for yourself. After saying that, Zhen Wushuang rushed out of Star Palace. The 6 rulers looked at each other. Although they were puzzled, they immediately followed him. They left Star Palace and soon arrived at the void space where the universe boat was. From afar, the 6 rulers saw the huge universe boat. What is this? What a huge boat! And it can stay in the universe void space. Is this the legendary universe boat? The 6 rulers were shocked. They knew that the reason why the Devil Cloudstar army could resist this starfield within 1,000 years was because Devil Cloudstar Master had a universe boat. They had heard of some universe boats. They could travel through the universe void, so they could stay there. The huge boat in front of them was obviously very similar to the universe boat. It's a universe boat, but it's not complete. The experts I brought back are waiting on the boat, Zhen Wushuang said with a smile. The 6 rulers also saw dozens of figures standing on the universe boat. Each of the dozens of figures exuded a terrifying aura. They were cold as ice, turned into huge black holes, were unruly, and looked like axes that could split the heaven and earth. Each of the figures was terrifying. Sensing the terrifying aura emitted by the dozens of people on the universe boat, Daoist Shen God, Temporal Temple Master, Heaven Cleaving Alliance Master, Heaven Ancestor, Di Shasan, and Shen Yang, the 6 rulers, all sucked in a breath of cold air, their hearts instantly surged. Just a moment ago, they did not take Zhen Wushuang's words seriously about bringing back a group of experts. But now, this group of experts stood in front of them, making them completely terrified. Rulers, they are all rulers. They are not ordinary rulers. I can sense that any one of these dozens of people is ridiculously strong. They are even much stronger than the top rulers I have seen before. They are too strong. Who are these people? The 6 rulers' bodies trembled. They had no choice but to tremble. Therefore, they stood in front of the universe boat. The dozens of powerful figures on the universe boat glanced at them from time to time. Any one of them glanced at them, and they felt a chill in their hearts. It was as if they had been on the verge of death. It was too terrifying. Any one of these dozens of figures was definitely more powerful than them. Standing in front of such a group of top-tier experts, they did not dare to breathe loudly even though they were also rulers. Only Zhen Wushuang landed on the universe boat casually. Master. Immediately, dozens of figures, which made Daoist Shen God and the other 6 rulers tremble in fear, bowed and kowtowed in unison. The one they kowtowed and shouted was obviously Zhen Wushuang. Master. Daoist Shen God and the other 6 were a little confused. Get up. Zhen Wushuang waved his hand, and the 41 servants including Demon Dragon Lord stood up. However, there was still a modest and respectful look on their faces. My young friend, what is going on? Daoist Shen God walked up, but his eyes were still filled with unprecedented shock. I just said that they are experts I brought back from a dangerous place in the universe battlefield. They were trapped in that dangerous place for a long time, and I can help them get out. But as a condition, they have to stay by my side and serve me for 100,000 years. Zhen Wushuang smiled. Work for you. For 100,000 years. Daoist Shen God gasped, but then he immediately asked, how strong are these people? Why do I feel that they are very powerful and terrifying? Each of them has the battle strength of a 3rd-level ruler, and they are very powerful among the 3rd-level rulers. Of course, they are very terrifying for you, Zhen Wushuang said with a smile. A 3rd-level ruler? Daoist Shen God stared at him. Behind them, the Temporal Temple Master, the Heaven Cleaving Alliance Master, and the others were also frightened, and their lips were trembling. Only Di Shasan was puzzled at this moment. What is a third-level ruler? He had just become a ruler not long ago and had just entered the universe battlefield. He did not know about the division of rulers. Jian Wushuang smiled. He said, rulers are divided into many different levels according to the number of principles fused. For example, although you are a superior ruler, you are only a first-level ruler. If you fuse one more principle, you will be a second-level ruler. As for the third-level ruler, you have to fuse 6 principles at the same time. In our star field, a second-level ruler can be said to be an invincible expert. Take Demon Monarch Ancient Knight for example. He is only the most superior ruler of the second level. Any one of these people behind me can easily kill Demon Monarch Ancient Knight. Any one of these people is stronger than Demon Monarch Ancient Knight. Any one of them can easily kill Demon Monarch Ancient Knight. Even the ice-cold Di Shasan was completely shocked at this moment. In the years he had been in the universe battlefield, he had heard of Demon Monarch Ancient Knight's great name more than once. For most of the experts in this star field, Demon Monarch Ancient Knight was still terrifyingly strong. But now, Jian Wushuang had brought back some people who were stronger than Demon Monarch Ancient Knight. But there were more than 40 people here. Chapter 39-31. The first is more. Our pre-God world was just one side of this star field, and it was just one side that had not been bred for a long time. If we hadn't relied on the relationship between the threefold worlds in the past, I would have produced a lot of strong people in the pre-God world. Otherwise, our overall strength and background are far worse than other astral circles in this star field. There are a lot of rule masters in this star field, and those rule masters who dare to wander through the 3 battlefields all year round are all very good. They are much stronger than the new rules that were born in the early world of God. As for the master, there are also many in this star field. If possible, I intend to recruit as many of these strong men as possible. My star palace has been very low-key in recent years, and its reputation in this star domain is also good. There are no enemies except for the sacred islands supported by the 3 holy places. And now that we have a large number of treasures, we can completely invite them to fight for me in the beginning. Wu Xian Shinto is smiling. Several of us have just discussed. Although this star field has a lot of rulers and a lot of masters, but because it is at the edge of the universe, the number of treasures in this star field is relatively small. After all, the only way for the strong in this star field to get the treasure opportunity is the 3 battlefields. Although there are a lot of treasures and chances in the 3 universe battlefields of Redstone Mountain, Magic Smoke Valley, and Quicksand Demon Realm, they can really get but very few. So, the power of this star field is lacking, especially the high-level treasure. Tianhu Xiaoyu, for the first time, you brought back 100,000 pieces of pinnacle treasures from the Red Cloud Realm. This is pinnacle treasure. Under normal circumstances, even the masters will pay great attention to pinnacle treasures, let alone the ruler. We can make a promise, but as long as the Lord of the rules above the Void Realm, as long as he is willing to fight for me in the early world of God, it will not take long for me to give my full strength to the battle with Devilstar after 1,000 years, and I will give them a wait. The highest peak treasure is the reward. As for those who are below the Void Realm, after all, the practitioners of the Void Realm and the Void Realm, we can use the top Arctic as a reward. I believe that when this news spreads, this star field will be a complete sensation. The rulers of countless rules in this star field will be crazy for them. I am afraid that for hundreds of years, there will be countless rulers who will aim for the peak, the top, and the top. Arcana, rush to my horoscope, and with this batch of Arcana, in the beginning, the world of the gods could capture a huge army of rules in a short time. Hearing this, Jian's eyes narrowed slightly. He has no doubts about the words of Xian Shinto. In this star field, the number of treasures is too small, and the quality is low. A peak treasure, even the master will pay great attention to it. Among the rule masters, except for a few special ones, or the rules with great backgrounds and opportunities outside the Lord, there are almost no peak treasures. And an ordinary pinnacle is enough to make the rulers of this star field crazy, including those who are extremely powerful in the 6 realms. As for the top emperor, the rulers of those 6 realms of the void will also be stunned. Now as long as it is above the void realm, it will be given to the top peak treasure, while those in the Void Realm and the Void Four Kingdoms will be given the top arcana. The news spread. I am afraid that few rulers can resist this temptation. This is only the master of the rules. As for dominating this level of combat power, we now have a large number of the strongest treasures, and we can also at the cost of the strongest treasures, so many of this star domain dominate the power, although this star domain the dominating combat power is not too much, but all of them can be regarded as a not weak force. Coupled with the army of countless rulers, in the beginning, the realm of the gods could gather more than 70% of the high-level combat power of this star field. When the magic cloud army kills it, we will have a better grasp of it. It's a lot. Mysterious Shinto again said. Good. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. Compared to this star field, I still have a lot of gods in the beginning. If I can rely on the treasure to integrate all the high-level combat power of this star field, this will be a great deal for me. In the beginning of the deity, it was also a great help. As for these top treasures, they only paid a lot of peak and top treasures. As for the strongest, there is not much to give, and it has no effect on the beginning of my deities. It doesn't matter. Mysterious Shinto laughed. In fact, when you first brought back 100,000 pieces of peak treasures and 100 strongest treasures, I was already thinking about this step, but only then the strongest treasure we have is not too much. If all of them are used as a price to attract the strong, then after the war, the peak of the treasure is flooded, and the strong forces of all parties in the universe have a large number of peak treasures and the strongest treasure. At the beginning, I was on the top of the divine side and was at a disadvantage. Furthermore, www.mtl Novelle. At that time, the only card I had in the world at the beginning was your strength, but at that time your combat power was not enough to deter the entire star field. I was worried once we act in this way, it will cause the madness of countless large forces in this star field. At that time, I am afraid that they will not only help us to counter the magic cloud star, but even directly take the treasure in our hands. Now, neither of them exists. The mysterious man paused and smiled. You brought us thousands of strongest treasures this time. With these strongest treasures in hand, even if the treasures flood in the future, I still have the gods in this star field. Being in the absolute leading position, as for the other powerful powers. You are now the first recognized power in this star field. Even the ancient Night Demon King is defeated in your hands. Only you are shocked by this person. There is no star field. People dare to mess around. What's more, you have brought back such a large number of strong people now. With them in hand, even if the treasure in our hands is several times but dozens of times, it can be kept. This star field has no one. Or forces, dare to hit the idea of my horoscope. Wu Jian smiled. He is not guilty. At the beginning, there was a large number of treasures in the Star Palace, but they had to hide it carefully and not dare to expose it. After all, the strength of the Star Palace was not too strong in this star field. But now, the master of a lot of rules of His Majesty will not say that the highest level of combat power, alone, or his servants can take one out, can sweep this star field. There is such strength, there is no need to worry about Star Palace anymore. Chapter 39-32. Second more. In this case, then make this news public as soon as possible, and let all the strong players in the entire starfield know in the shortest possible time. Jian Wushuang smiled. As for the treasure, do NT use it, let it go, I will spend some time. Go to Hongyunji again and bring back as many treasures as possible. Countless treasures in the Red Cloud realm, more than billions. Although Master Wu will have some restrictions on the strongest treasure and the strongest treasure on the highest level, if only the top level and peak level treasure, then the Master can say that he wants more. Yes, take it casually. At that time, he only brought 100,000 pieces of pinnacle treasure out, but if he needs it now, he can go to Hongyun realm to find that misty man. If he wants some top level, pinnacle level treasures, he believes that most of the misty man will promise him. With enough treasures, we can convene a large number of rule masters to form an army of rule masters, but there are too many rule masters. It is not easy to fully play their role. The best way is to let them practice and master some special battle formations, and cooperate with each other to develop stronger combat capabilities. However, such battle formations are fine on a small scale, and large-scale battle formations do not exist in my star palace now. Frown. Large-scale battle array? Jian Wushuang looked. It is true that an army composed entirely of rulers must, of course, operate in conjunction with some special legal or combat formations in order to be able to exert stronger combat power. Now, the number of rulers on the side of the divine realm alone in the early days is more than 100,000. If you gather a large number of rulers in this starfield, the number will be even more terrifying. I am afraid that it is always the number of rulers of hundreds of thousands. To be able to maximize the power of the masters of these rules to the extreme battle array, the requirements must be extremely high. Stone fire. Sword Wushuang opened. Master. The Lord of Mars immediately came to Jian Wushuang. Your accomplishment in the formation method is the highest among us. Have you ever been able to solve this battle? Jian Wushuang asked. But the Lord of the Martians smiled directly. Master, I don't hide it. Before I was detained, I had served in a military camp of a kingdom of God, and my duty was to specifically design and improve the army's formation and law. Of course, the high-level military formations of the Divine Kingdom Army are scary. There are nearly 100,000 people in charge of researching and improving this military formation. I am only one of them, but I understand the military formations and battle formations of this army. There are still many. And the army of one kingdom of God is tens of millions of casually dispatched. The scale of hundreds of millions of powerful people, compared to only creating hundreds of thousands, at most nearly 1 million, and all are only rulers. The battlefield is still much simpler. That's all right. Jian Wushuang's eyes lightened. That being the case, it's up to you. No problem. Stone Mars nodded, and his face was confident. Xian Shen, this master of Martian is a master of matrix formation. He has a very good understanding of matrix formation. I am afraid that even in many 4th series and 5th series masters, he is extremely high. In this star, the domain is absolutely incomparable, and in the battlefield, it is to him. Jian Wushuang Dao. Then there is Mr. Luo Shihua. Xian Shinto arched. I just obey the command of the host. Your Excellency is very polite. The Lord of Mars returned the gift. Xian Shen, My Majesty, these people, I will also give them to you temporarily. You find a place to house them first. If they have any needs, as long as they do not go too far, they can be satisfied. Jian Wushuang Dao. Yes. Xian Shinto nodded. Sword warriors turned around and looked at the many slaves behind him. Listen, this mysterious beside me is my elder, and I have great grace. When I am away, you all have to obey his orders. Of course, if you have any needs, you can ask him, and he will satisfy you as much as possible, but don't overdo it. In addition, you were all detained by Hongyun in the first place, and most of them have committed sins, and maybe even some of them are evil and poisonous. I don't care about them, but now you are under my hands, you must be honest. One thing, who dares to make waves in this starfield, then don't blame me for being polite. I already have a lot of slaves in my hands. Even if I kill a few, it doesn't matter. Wu Jian has a cold mang in his eyes. The servants in front of you were trembling inside. Among them, there are indeed many evil-minded people who have committed heinous sins. And they have been detained in the eternal dark prison for a long time, and now they have finally come out of the eternal dark prison. Each of them has gone crazy and has wanted to vent, and some even want to slaughter a lot. Turn. It is normal for them to slaughter some ants, but they are very repulsive to them. They are now controlled by Jian Wushuang's life and death, and Jian Wushuang's order is not dare to disobey. After all, although Jian Wushuang swears to the laws of the universe that they will be freed after 100,000 years, the premise is that they must obey Jian Wushuang's order. If they do not obey the order, Jian Wushuang can still kill them at any time. Xian Shen, I'm going to Jodi Pavilion. If you are in trouble, you can directly send me a message. Jian Wushuang Dao. Okay. Xian Shinto nodded slightly. Demon Dragon, follow me. Jian Wushuang said again. Yes. The Lord Dragon nodded. Immediately, Jian Wushuang and the Dragon Lord set off directly and headed for Jodi Pavilion. As for the remaining 40 slaves, they were temporarily housed in the Shingong by the mysterious Shinto people and lived there. At the same time, a message spreads throughout the star field at the fastest speed. The news was personally conveyed by the Lord of the Single Palace. The main idea is that there are countless precious treasures in the Single Palace. This star field, if the ruler and master of the rule, as long as they are willing to fight for the sacred palace for thousands of years, they will get one. For exchange. Among them, the Lord of the Void 3 realms and 4 realms pays a top prize. The Lord of the 5 realms and 6 realms of void, the reward is a pinnacle. Dominate the strong, the reward is the strongest treasure. Regardless of how many rulers come, Star Palace guarantees that absolute is sufficient and sufficient, even if it is 1,000,000 pieces of top-level and peak arcana, Star Palace will pay. The news came out. Instantly, the entire star field was sensational and boiling. He followed closely. After countless powerful people from this star field, after hearing the news, they all rushed towards the Star Palace. For a while, the horoscope was completely the focus of this star field. Chapter 39-33. Third More. 9 Emperor Pavilion is a large trading venue. When Jian Wushuang learned about the Jodi Pavilion from the main entrance of the Space and Time Palace, he only knew that the Jodi Pavilion was special. He did not fight for hegemony and did not participate in the competition for treasures. He only did his own business. Even the deepest part of the universe. At that time, Jian Wushuang had a little curiosity about these 9 Emperors' pavilions. Then, after conquering the magic flame, and after eternal dark prison, he conquered a large number of slaves. After communicating with them, Jian Wushuang had a new understanding of the 9 Emperors' pavilions. Zhu Daiji, that is simply a giant. Although he does not fight for hegemony and does not participate in the competition for opportunities and treasures, the Jodi Pavilion is located in all corners of the universe. Even at the deepest part of the universe, it has a pivotal position. Like the deepest part of the vast universe, there are eternal kingdoms of gods. These kingdoms are developed by the top and supreme, like a red cloud. These kingdoms should be the site of the pioneer, but these gods all have the Jodi Pavilion, and the number is still quite large. He can spread the 9 Emperor Pavilions all over the universe and even infiltrate into one large kingdom of gods. The masters of those kingdoms have no opinion yet. The degree of terror of these 9 Emperor Pavilions can be imagined. The 9 Emperors' Palace can exist in the vast universe for so long, and the territory involved is so vast. Its strength and details are unimaginable, and the one who founded the 9 Emperors' Palace in one hand is bound to be a shocking powerhouse. I am afraid that at least it is the Supreme Invincible, that is, the level of Supreme Lingyun, and it may even be stronger. Jian Wushuang secretly said. 9 Emperor Pavilion is definitely a superlord in the universe, at least much stronger than Hongyun. Sword Wushuang has no doubt about this. While the star field where he is now, although the edge of the universe, the power of Jodi Pavilion still infiltrated. In the middle of this star field, a huge and ancient Earth star is hovering there quietly, and Jodi Pavilion is located on this Earth star. The appearances of Jian Wushuang and the Dragon Lord appeared in the void outside the Earth. 9 Emperor Pavilion. Jian's eyes calmly looked at the huge Earth star in front of him. Although there is a huge law formation above the ground star, Jian Wushuang can still clearly see the tall building attic in the law formation. The entire Zhojian Pavilion is extremely magnificent, and there are many practitioners on the planet who are walking around. Most of these practitioners are the strong ones who come to trade in the Jodi Pavilion. Next to Jian Wushuang, the Lord of the Dragons will be more domineering than Jian Wushuang. He glanced at the Jodi Pavilion in front of him, and the power of the soul swept out unscrupulously. The heavy array on the Jodi Pavilion failed, blocking the soul exploration of the Lord of Dragons. The Lord of Dragons had already seen the scene in the pavilion of the 9 Emperors for a moment. There are 3 masters, 2 of whom are only the first series, but there is one who has reached the second series, said the Dragon Lord. Oh! Jian Wushuang frowned. He didn't expect that there was even a second-level master in the 9 Emperors' Pavilion. You know, when the strong man in the eternal dark prison has never stepped out, this starfield will be dominated by a second-level master on the bright side of the starfield. Except for him, no one seems to have reached the second-level master, but it now appears that there is such a person in the Jodi Pavilion. Go, let's go in. Jian Wushuang swept directly to the star. After the sword Wushuang appeared in the void outside Jodi Pavilion, and the power of the soul of the Dragon Lord swept away, the three masters in Jodi Pavilion were immediately noticed. Huh. I saw 3 arrogant breaths rising from the Jodi Pavilion at the same time, and 3 figures also appeared above the Jodi Pavilion. The appearance of these 3 people instantly caused a commotion in the Jodi Pavilion. Master, 3 masters. It is the 3 masters of the Jodi Pavilion. The most central one is the master of the first court of the Jodi Pavilion, Shen Yun, who is said to have reached the top level of dominance many years ago. The original Yu dominated at the time, but later Yu dominated the starfield because of the rise of the ancient night devil. Now among the strongest in this starfield, in addition to the top of the blood sword apart from the Lord and the ancient night demon king, this Shen Yun ruler should be the strongest. What happened? It turned out that the 3 masters of Jodi Pavilion appeared at the same time, and even Shen Yun's master appeared. An exclamation sounded from below. Many rulers who came to trade in Jodi Pavilion raised their heads in amazement one by one, looking at the 3 masters above. He followed closely, but the 3 masters, under their gaze, swept directly to the void ahead, where 2 figures came slowly. Obviously, the reason for the appearance of the 3 patrons was because of the arrival of the 2. But who are those 2 people who actually attracted the 3 masters of Jodi Pavilion to appear at the same time? Ha! The Lord of the Blood Sword is here, my Jodi Pavilion is full of glory. The gigantic laughter emanated from the mouth dominated by Shen Yun. Hearing this laughter, the rulers below were immediately clear. Who am I? Turns out to be the Lord of the Blood Sword. Well, as Shen Yun dominates, now in this star domain, I am afraid that only the Lord of the Blood Sword and the ancient Night Demon King are qualified to meet him in person. The Lord of the Blood Sword? That's the Lord of the Blood Sword? Look at the breath, which is also the rule of the general rule. The general ruler. The joke is also the ruler. The main sword of this blood sword kills me and waits, it's almost like killing an ant. Don't say I wait, even if it is the general master, the main sword of blood sword is afraid. You can easily kill him. You must know that he defeated the ancient Night Demon King. How good is the ancient Night Demon King? Who is the one-horned old man next to the Lord of the Blood Sword? I don't know, but it seems to be a very powerful person. The rulers of the rules below all talked about. For the ruler of these rules, the general masters are high above them, and the appearance of masters like Shen Yun is enough to excite and even tremble them. And the gods who have been passed on in this starfield for a long time, with the rule of the Lord, and known as the Lord of the Blood Sword of the first strongest in this starfield, are enough to make them crazy. It is a great luck for the master of these rules to be able to see these strong sides. Moreover, they are also the masters of the rules. They naturally admire and even admire the sword's unparalleled strength. I now see Jian Wushuang, just like Jian Wushuang's own idol. Chapter 39-34. Fourthmore. On the void of Zhojian Pavilion, Jian Wushuang and the Lord of the Dragons stood there. In front of them were the 3 masters of Zhojian Pavilion. The eyes of these 3 patrons at this moment are not on Jian Wushuang's body, but on the Dragon Lord. This person. Shen Yun dominated and looked at the Lord Dragon with a frown. He does not know the Lord of Dragons, and has never heard of such a strong man. Although the Lord of Dragons is standing behind Jian Wushuang at this moment, it gives a huge amount of oppression in his body. This oppression is strong, make Shen Yun dominated secretly. At this time, the eyes of the Demon Dragon Lord also just swept over. It was just a simple sweep. Shen Yun's master only felt a twitch of his body and mind. So terrible strong, I feel not weaker than that ancient night devil, and maybe even stronger. Shen Yun is the master of the first pavilion of Jodi Pavilion. When the ancient Night Demon King rose, he also dealt with the latter. However, the background of the 9 Emperor Palace is too large. It is said that the power of Xion can oppress many large forces in this starfield, but it is not afraid to provoke the Jodi Pavilion alone. Suddenly, Yun dominated and found that the one-cornered old man standing in front of him at the moment gave him a stronger feeling than the ancient night demon. But the one-corner old man stood on the side of Jian Wushuang and was a little behind. The Lord of the Blood Sword, I wonder if this one around you is? Yun asked him. He is just one of my servants. Yun do not care. Jian Wushuang smiled. Servant. Lord Yun glanced at the other two cabinet masters next to him, but his heart was even more frightened. Dominated by Yun, I came to Jodi Pavilion this time to do business. Jian Wushuangdao. Let the Lord of the Blood Sword come in person is bound to be a big business. I also invite the Lord of the Blood Sword to follow me to the cabinet, and we will discuss it slowly. Yun dominated the invitation. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. Immediately, Jian Wushuang and the Dragon Lord, led by Yun, ran towards the central loft of the Jodi Pavilion. In the lofty loft, Jian Wushuang sat at a round table, and the Lord of the Dragons stood respectfully behind him. In front of him, the three lords of the Jodi Pavilion also sat there. I don't know what treasure you need to exchange for the Lord of the Blood Sword. Lord Yun asked directly. Spar, all kinds of special spar, but it must be high level. Jian Wushuangdao. He wants special spar, which is naturally prepared for demon flame. Although in the eternal dark prison, he beheaded many masters, conquered many strong ones, and obtained a large number of special spar, but these special spar, in addition to the Jin Kang that was originally obtained from the 1,000-killed monarch outside of the Boundary Stone, most of the other spar levels are more general. Even if all of them are added up, it is not enough for the magic flame to restore the gold-swallowing body. Therefore, Jian Wushuang needs more spar, and they are all high level. This is easy to handle. I have a list of special spar in my 9 Emperors Pavilion. You can see the Lord of the Blood Sword. Yun's master directly passed the list to Jian Wushuang. After Wu Jianshou took it, he browsed with the magic flame. After a few moments, the list is finished. No, the level is too low. The sound of the magic flame sounded in Jian Shuang's heart. The spar on this list is very general, and the quality is lower than those of the master you get in the Eternal Dark Prison. I've been on a few, and I've recovered a lot of gold swallows now. I'm going to continue to recover. This kind of ordinary spar won't be of much use even if swallowed. Only the higher level spar can make it. My gold-swallowing body continues to recover. None of the spar on this list can meet my requirements. Wu Jian's brows also frowned. He also listened to the demon flame before. As the gold-swallowing body slowly recovers, the quality requirements for the spar will become higher and higher. Up to now, although the gold-swallowing body of the demon flame has not recovered to 10%, but the general spar it had no effect on his recovery. Yun dominates, it's true, the special spar level I want must be high, like the spar on this list that you come up with, none of them can meet my requirements. Jian Wushuang said. No one. Yun dominated in surprise. No, the spar on this list is extremely rare and precious in this star field, and several of them are almost extinct in this star field. Oh, no such precious spar can meet your requirements of the Lord of the Blood Sword? Master of the Blood Sword, can you tell me what you want these spar to do? Yun's is indeed curious. Ku Jianshuang, but shook his head directly. This matter is important, I can't tell you, but I do need a higher level spar. I wonder if Yun dominates your 9 Emperors Pavilion, or is there another way to get it? The spar that I can take out for the time being is on this list. The higher level spar is probably very difficult to find, but if you really need the Lord of the Blood Sword, there is something else. The way can be found. Yun dominated. What method? Jian Wushuang looked over. The Lord of the Blood Sword www.mtl Novel. You should have some understanding of my 9 Emperors Pavilion. My 9 Emperors Pavilion is located in all corners of the universe and in various star domains, and this star domain is at the extreme edge of the universe. The barren land has naturally limited resources and treasures. The higher level spar is not available in this star field, but other star fields are available. If you really need the Blood Sword Master, Jodi Pavilion can be delivered to you from other star domains. But it will cost a lot more to send it from other star fields. Yun said. Wu Zhenshuang squinted his eyes slightly, not surprised. The high-level spar he needs is indeed very difficult to get in this star field. Unless it is the deepest in the 3 battlefields and the opportunity is extremely bad, 1 or 2 special spars can be obtained. Yu Jian Wushuang got a blood iron at the beginning. But hard to plant is pure luck, which can be encountered but not sought. With the resources of this star field, it is really not easy to get that high-level special spar. It can only be sent from other star fields. If you send it from another star field, the price will definitely be more expensive. After all, the universe is too vast, and one starfield is extremely far apart from the other starfield. Even if it is Jodi Pavilion, you need to send treasures from a starfield. It is not so easy to go to another starfield. I want to know what are the highest level spar you can send to this starfield in a short time. Jian Wushuang asked. End of this chapter. Chapter 39-35. Fifth more. This, I have to communicate with the masters of some nearby star domains, so that I can get accurate information. Shun Yun dominated for a while, and said, let us just ask the 2 to wait a moment here. I will immediately get in touch with the cabinet owners of those stars. Okay. Jian Wushuang nodded, without urging. Shun Yun dominated immediately and was presented with wine and food for Jian Wushuang to enjoy. After a long while, Shun Yun had the exact answer. Master of the Blood Sword, this list is just sorted out by me, and can be sent to this starfield in the shortest time. The special spar level on the list is much higher than the previous list. See if you are satisfied. Shun Yun dominated and resent a list to Jian Wu double-sided. After Wu Zhenshou took it, his consciousness swept away and he nodded slightly. It is true that the special spar on this list is much higher than the previous level. Magic Flame, what do you think? Jian Wushuang communicated with Mo Yang internally. Not bad. The Magic Flame also said, although there are only dozens of crystals on this list, the levels are not low, and the highest level of them has the greatest 2 kinds of help to restore my body. One is the Ice Crystal. The other is the Golden Fire Magic Stone. Although the 2 crystals are still inferior to the Golden Tsungje Stone, they are also very good, especially the Golden Fire Magic Stone. If there is a certain amount, in a short time, you can restore 10% to 20% of the deities. I got a reply from Demon Flame, and Jian Wushuang immediately looked up. Shun Yun is dominated. Of these spar, I need 2 ice crystals and Gold Fire Demon, but I don't know how much these 2 spar are worth. Bing Yuanjing, the Golden Fire Demon? Shun Yun dominated his brows and laughed. The Lord of the Blood Sword, you have a good eye. On this list I gave you recently, these 2 kinds of spar have the highest level. Especially the Golden Fire Magic Stone, that is extremely rare in the edge of the universe. Of course, the higher the level, the higher the value naturally, not to mention that both types of spar need to be sent from other star domains, and the cost is even greater. Shun Yun's dominance only said that the cost was greater, but did not say the specific value of these 2 kinds of spar. Jian Wushuang said directly, I not only need to send these 2 kinds of spar from other starfields, but I also have a requirement that the speed must be fast. Within 500 years, I must send to this star field. And give it to me. What? Within 500 years? Shun Yun dominated his eyes. Why, you can't do it. Jian Wushuang glanced at Shun Yun. I can do it. I have 9 Emperor Pavilions in all corners of the universe, and have been connected with each star domain, and there are special space channels between each other. If you use space channels, let alone 500 years, even 5, it will not be a problem to send it to you in 10 years. But the key is the cosmic channel. It is no more than a space channel in the astral space. It is extremely difficult to open any cosmic channel. The cost is even greater. This is just a creation, and each time it is transmitted in cosmic space, the same it takes a huge price, as is the case with short-distance cosmic space channel transmissions, and the cost is even more outrageous if it spans star fields. Shun Yun's master frowned. I know the cost is huge, and I have already prepared mentally. You don't need to talk nonsense to me, let's just say, how much it will cost to send these 2 kinds of spar to me in 500 years. Jian Wushuang said lowly. Shun Yun dominated for a moment, and then stretched out a finger, saying, "A gold fire magic stone requires 1 universe source stone." Wu Jian's eyes narrowed sharply. The lion opens his mouth. The dragon lord next to him whispered coldly, and a little bit of evil swept out of him. When Zun felt this evil spirit, Shen Yun was dominated and the other 2 patrons of Jodi Pavilion were taken aback. Qi Jian Wushuang waved his hand to signal the dragon lord to converge his breath. "Is the source stone of the universe?" Swordless eyes narrowed. "Universe source stone, this is a special unit used for trading in the vast universe. In the vast universe, there are 2 kinds of currency for trading. One is the cosmic crystal, which is also the earliest cosmic currency that Jian Wushuang contacted. At the time he got the Blood North heritage, he got some cosmic crystals. At that time he didn't know the purpose of this cosmic crystal was later discovered in the cosmic battlefield. However, the universe crystal is only the most basic trading currency, and it is mostly used by the ruler and some weaker masters. And the masters who reach a certain level of strength, they use all the source rocks of the universe. In the universe, it is also currency. The ratio of the source stone to the universe crystal is 1 to 100 million. In other words, only 100 million cosmic crystals can be exchanged for 1 cosmic source stone. But in this starfield, even those masters who have been roaming in the universe battlefield all year round and have the rules of the treasure, their total net worth is probably hundreds of universe crystals. Even if it is a first-level master, the total net worth is probably only about hundreds of thousands of universe crystals. If there is the strongest treasure in hand, the net worth may be more, but not too much. 1 cosmic source stone, equivalent to 100 million cosmic crystals, this is definitely an astronomical number for most first-order masters. Because on the market the value of a strongest treasure may be between 102 million cosmic crystals. 1 cosmic source stones are equivalent to dozens or even hundreds of strongest treasures. This is not to blame. The demon dragon lord said that Shen Yun dominated the lion's mouth, because under normal circumstances, a gold fire demon stone does not need 1 universe source stone at all, at most 0. 1 universe source stone is sufficient. The Lord of the Blood Sword, I know that the price is relatively expensive, but there is no way. Your requirements are too high. You must send it to this star field within 500 years. For 500 years, you can only rely on cosmic space. Channel. Shen Yun dominated solemnly. What about Bing Yuanjing? Jian Wushuang asked again. The value of the ice crystal is slightly lower than that of the gold fire magic stone, but if it is delivered within 500 years, it will also require a 0.9 source stone of the universe. Shen Yun dominated. Wu Jiansu silent. In the bottom of his heart, he was asking Moyan, if your gold-swallowing body is to recover 20%, how many gold fire magic stones or ice yuan crystals do you need? If all of them are gold fire magic stones, 100 pieces are almost enough. If all of them are ice crystals, I'm afraid about 120 pieces are needed. Moyan replied. 100 gold fire magic stones, which means 100 universe source stones. Jian Wushuang's eyes narrowed. Chapter 39-36. 6th More. Universe source stone, swords unique. That was obtained when he was slaying and conquering many powerful men in the Eternal Dark Prison. You know, most of the Eternal Dark Prisons are from the depths of the universe, and hundreds of Chaos-era killings can survive. Every family is extraordinary. There are some cosmic source stones or cosmic crystals in their hands. These all add up, and now I have about 20 cosmic source stones on hand. But the 20 cosmic source stones are obviously not enough to buy the golden fire demon stone and Bing Yuan Jing. Shen Yun dominates, this gold fire magic stone and Bing Yuan Jing, I want a little more. Jian Wushuang suddenly said. Oh! Dominant Shen Yun immediately looked at Xiong Zhenshuang. If it is pure gold fire magic stone, I need 100, as for Bing Yuan Jing, I need 120. Jian Wushuang said directly. This. The master Shen Yun and the other 2 patrons heard it, all a little dazed. They know how expensive Shen Yun's price has just been. 1 cosmic source stone, a gold fire magic stone, hundreds, that would be 100 cosmic source stones. In the universe, Even if it is the master of the 4th or 5th series, all the net worth may not have 100 source rocks of the universe. The Lord of the Blood Sword can take it. Although the suspicion is extremely deep, Shen Yun's master still said, the Lord of the Blood Sword, although I gave you this list, it does not mean that there are many spar on this list, especially the Golden Fire Demon. Stone and Bing Yuanjing have the highest levels. I have communicated with and calculated the statistics of many cabinets in the surrounding area. All the star fields around here only have more than 30 gold fire magic stones. As for the number of ice crystals, there are more, but they are not even 60. Even if I give it all to you, it won't meet your requirements. So, I can do everything possible to send you 30 gold fire magic stones and 50 ice yuan crystals in 500 years. Of course, if it is a slightly lesser crystal, such as the blood dragon crystal, there are quite a few starfields around here. I can get you 200 or 300. It is not a problem. What do you think? Blood dragon crystal? Jian Wushuang frowned. It's okay. The sound of the demon flame rang in Jian Wushuang's heart. Although the level of the blood dragon crystal is not as high as that of the gold fire magic stone and ice yuan crystal, the 300 blood dragon crystals together are comparable. 30 or 40 gold fire magic stones, and all of them are enough. Jian Wushuang nodded, just 30 gold fire magic stones, 50 ice yuan crystals, 300 blood dragon crystals. Okay. Shen Yun dominated the dignified look. You thought that you only need 1 or 2 gold and fire magic stones for the Lord of the Blood Sword, so the value will naturally be a lot higher, but now the Lord of the Blood Sword is a one-time one. If you need so many crystals are already in the same star field. You can get a lot of crystals in one cosmic channel transmission, so it can save a lot of cost, so I can give you the Lord of the Blood Sword in terms of price. Lower some. Let us do that. 30 gold fire magic stones and 50 ice yuan crystals are added together. I'll give you 50 cosmic source stones. As for 300 blood dragon crystals, it's all 30 cosmic source stones. 80 cosmic source stone, Lord of the Blood Sword. If you agree, I will definitely send these things to the Star Palace within 500 years. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. 80 cosmic source stone, although it is still a huge number, but what Shen Yun dominated before, it is indeed a lot of discount. The Lord of the Blood Sword, I don't know the 80 cosmic source stones, how did you pay for it? Shen Yun dominated it. I have a lot of treasures in your hand, let's see how much it is. Sword Wushuang waved his hand and took out a ring of heaven and earth. In this ring of prey, there are a lot of resources and treasures that he got from the strong men who were killed by him after he killed in the Eternal Dark Prison. Many of the resources and treasures here are extremely precious, which are not found in this starfield, and the value is naturally extraordinary. After taking control of Chen Kuan, the Master Shen Yun began to investigate carefully. When he saw the numerous and precious treasures in Chen Kuan Ring, Shen Yun's heart shook immediately. Good guy, Bafang Mine Vine, Feng Huaxian Cao, Lei Sho Shui Dan. Shen Yun dominated and called out dozens of treasure names. These treasures are hardly found not only in our starfield, but even in the nearby starfields. You, the Lord of the Blood Sword, took out so many things at once, and most of the other treasures are also very precious. The levels are also very high, most of them are difficult to find in our starfield. Oh, terrific, terrific. Shen Yun dominated, constantly admiring. Of course, he admired the sword Wushuang's handwriting. Wu Mingming is just a ruler. The treasures that can be taken out are enough to marvel at most of the masters on the edge of the universe. Dominated by Shen Yun, tell me directly how much these treasures are worth. Jian Wushuang said indifferently. The master of Shen Yun made a simple estimation and quickly replied, the Lord of the Blood Sword, most of the treasures in this ring are extremely precious and rare, and there are several types of values that are even more amazing. All of them can be added together. Are you the source stone of the universe, the source stone of the universe? Jian Wu's eyes narrowed slightly. 30 cosmic source rocks, plus 20 cosmic source rocks already on him, are only 50 cosmic source rocks. I've got some treasures here, look at them again. Jian Wushuang took out another Chen Kuan ring. Shen Yun took over immediately. After investigation, he found that there were only dozens of treasures in the Chen Kuan ring, But the breadth of those dozens of treasures was extremely amazing, and they were all the strongest treasures. And not the ordinary strongest treasure. The strongest treasures in the highest level, dozens of them. Dominant Shen Yun widened his eyes, calmed down immediately, and smiled. Master of the Blood Sword, these dozens of treasures, I still give you 20 universes. The price of the Source Stone. Jian Wushuang's eyebrows finally frowned, and he murmured, these strongest treasures are all in the highest level, and each one is very amazing. It should be easy to exchange 1 or 2 million cosmic crystals, and among them there are arcana warframes, realms, and repression arcanas, all of which add up to more than 20 cosmic source stones. Master of the Blood Sword, you don't know about it. Shen Yun dominated with a smile. In a word, things are rare and expensive. If you only take 1 or 2 pieces of the best treasure of the highest level, the price is naturally different, but you can take out dozens of them at once, and I also get news. There are a large number of arcanas in the Star Palace, even the strongest arcana, which is obviously related to the Lord of the Blood Sword. Chapter 39-37. 7th More. The Star Palace has a large number of arcanas, including the strongest arcana, and also used these Arcadia to solicit powerful people. It is not surprising that it will not take long for this Star Domain S arcana, including the strongest arcana, to flood. In the future, this Star Domain the value of arcana will naturally be reduced. According to local conditions, this principle, you should understand the Lord of the Blood Sword. Shen Yun dominated and looked at Jian Wushuang calmly. Jian Wushuang was silent. He did feel that the source rock of the 20 universe was a little low, but what Shen Yun dominated did not make him refutable. According to local conditions, if this star field itself does not have many strongest treasures, and there is no need for a universe of treasures at the highest level, the value is naturally different. Moreover, even if the price was lowered, he could not be angry, and he could not force the other side by force. After all, he is not facing a small force now, but Jodi Pavilion. Although the host of the first pavilion of the 9 Emperor Pavilion is dominated by Shen Yun, although he has been polite to him from the moment he entered the door, in fact, this Shen Yun dominates him with no fear at all. I want to know that what stands behind him is a huge Joding Pavilion. He will only do business fairly and strive for greater benefits for Joding Pavilion as much as possible. The resources that I can exchange in my hands are almost the same, but I still can't get the 80 cosmic source stones, unless... Jian Wushuang squinted his eyes, pondered for a moment, and then made a decision. Dominated by Shen Yun, I still have a treasure in my hand, see how much it is. Jian Wushuang waved his hand. This time he didn't take out the ring, but took out a blue sword. As soon as the cyan sword came out, there was a horrific and fierce breath coming out, and the cyan sword faintly carried an incomparable force. That transcendental power is truly the law of the universe. This is the rule of treasure. The Lord Shen Yun and the other 2 lords of the Jodi Pavilion showed horror at the moment they saw the blue sword. Not bad, this cyan sword is exactly the sword that Sword Master Wushuang received from the Lord of the Scorpions. The 5 rules of the Lord Scorpion Lord are precious. One of them is used by himself, and a purple stone stick is given to the Lord Dragon Lord. The 2 town monuments are refined by the sword unparalleled. As for the last item, this is the cyan sword, which is also contained in the ring of sword by the sword unparalleled in case of need. And now, in order to get what he needs very much from the Jodi Pavilion, Jian Wushuang took out the cyan sword. Master of the Blood Sword, do you even have the rule of treasure? Shen Yun dominated Jian Wushuang with a shocked expression on his face. Don't talk nonsense, you look at this rule arcana sword, how many universe source stones can be exchanged for? Jian Wushuang is cold. Sovereign Shen Yun immediately began to investigate the power of the cyan sword. Only a moment later, the Lord Shen Yun gave the sword Wushuang a reply. The Lord of the Blood Sword, the cyan sword you brought out belongs to the rule of the lower grade, and among the treasures of the rule of inferior goods, it can only be regarded as ordinary. In the vast universe, the rule of inferior quality is generally treasure, and the value is between the source rocks of the universe, and your rule of treasure war sword is estimated to be between 120 source rocks. However, I said before that things are scarce and expensive. Your best-in-class treasures are the strongest treasures. Because there are a lot of them, the value is naturally low. The rule is treasure. In addition to the town monument that was originally born, there is almost nothing in this star field. At least I have never received the arcane treasure since I became the first patron of the 9 Emperor Pavilion of this star field. Therefore, in terms of value, this ruled treasure knife will naturally be higher. In this way, this low-level rule is a precious sword. I will give you the price of 150 cosmic source stones. What do you think? After Shen Yun dominated, he smiled and looked at Jian Wushuang. 150 source stones of the universe? Jian Wushuang looked up at Shen Yun's master and nodded secretly. He had already asked the Lord of the Dragons on his way. Regarding the price of the ruler's sword, the Lord of the Dragons said that the value of the ruler's sword should be between the source rocks of the universe, and Shen Yun's master gave 150. The price is indeed relatively high. As he said, things are precious. Counting it like that, the most powerful treasures he sold before are not a loss. This rule is the 150 cosmic source stones of the precious treasure sword, plus the batch of resource treasures and arcane treasures, all of which add up to 190 cosmic source stones, deducting the 80 cosmic source stones that purchased the gold fire magic stone, ice yuan crystal, and blood dragon crystal. There are 110 cosmic source stones left. I still have a list here, there are some treasures in it, and see if you can get them in 500 years. Jian Wushuang took out a list again. On the list, there are hundreds of treasures. These treasures were prepared for Jian Wushuang to cultivate the supreme immortal body. The supreme immortal mystic body is from Ling Yunxing. It is Ling Yunxing's inner star mysticism. It is very high level and very powerful. Before the sword Wushuang was only able to be refined into the first, but the body was greatly improved. Comparable to the elementary universe treasure. I have to know that the supreme immortal mysticism is full of 11th order. Only at the main level of the rule, you can practice the first 3 tiers. Jian Wushuang was just the first tier. The reason why he has practiced the second most important thing in these years is that the cultivation of the supreme immortal iron requires a lot of geniuses and treasures, and those geniuses and treasures are very high. Starfields can still be barely found, but the treasures needed for the second start are almost impossible to find in this starfield. Jian Wushuang also came to the 9 Emperors Pavilion because he now has a lot of resources in his hands, and he just took out the treasure on that list, which is the second and third most important thing for him to cultivate the supreme immortal Shentai. There are hundreds of treasures needed, and almost any kind is hard to find in this starfield. Jian Wushuang was also unsure whether the Zhoujian Pavilion could be brought to him within 500 years. These treasures. Master Shen Yun and the other 2 masters of the Zhoudi Pavilion looked at the treasures on the list, one by one sipping the air conditioner. Why, is it difficult? Jian Wushuang asked in a deep voice. The Lord of the Blood Sword, the treasures on your list are very high level, and they are relatively rare. It is very difficult to get 1 or 2 of them in this starfield alone, but if you do not hesitate, if you look for it from the nearby starfield, you can probably find a full 99%, but on this list, there is still a Jinyuan God fruit. Shen Yun dominated his words, and his eyes were still a little shocked. Chapter 39-38. It's 8 more today. Jinyuan God fruit, that is a first-class treasure. It is said that this Jinyuan God fruit, if only swallowed directly, can greatly enhance its own body. If it is refined into elixir, or used as an elixir for other uses, the effect is even more amazing. In some large territories in the universe, many of the 4th series and even 5th series dominate the Jinyuan God fruit, but Jinyuan God fruit is extremely valuable. To 50 cosmic source stones. This is just the price on the market, because Jinyuan God fruit is generally available without a price. If a Jinyuan God fruit is sold well, it is normal to sell a 70 universe source stone. Shen Yun dominated in that wonder. 9 Emperor Pavilion, a great family, even if this Jinyuan God fruit is precious, but it is nothing to the Emperor Pavilion, right? Jian Wushuang looked over. Jinyuan God fruit is naturally nothing to the Jade Emperor Pavilion, but here is the edge of the universe after all, and the many starfields around here. I dare say, there is absolutely no Jinyuan God fruit, blood sword if you want the golden source fruit, you can only send it from some large areas in the deeper part of the universe, and within 500 years, the price will be much higher. Shen Yun ruled. Frankly speaking, how many universe source stones are needed? Jian Wushuang said indifferently. 400 universe source stone. Shen Yun dominated directly. 8 times the price. The sword has no double-sided discoloration. It's too expensive. A single gold source fruit requires 400 universe source stones. I can't afford it. There are indeed too many cosmic source stones, even if he replaced the ruled treasure sword with cosmic source stones, plus the resources he sold before and the strongest gem, minus the purchase of those special spar. The next 110 cosmic source stones, plus 30 cosmic source stones on him, are only about 140. It is still a long way from the 400 source rocks of the universe. Master of the blood sword, do you really need that Jinyuan god fruit? Master Shen Yun suddenly looked over. Of course. Jian Wushuang Zheng focused his head. If the Lord of the blood sword is really eager for you, there is another way. Shen Yun dominated. What method? Jian Wushuanglian looked over. The Lord of the blood sword, you may not know yet. In my 9 Emperor Pavilion, there is a special list called 9 Emperor Lists. Shen Yun, the master, began to recount. There are countless strong men on the 9 Emperor list. Among them, they are either supreme or dominated, and of course there are rule masters, but without exception, those who are qualified to include names in this list are necessarily true strong ones, even the rule ones. The Lord must also be the one who rules against the sky and has great potential. Lord of the blood sword, I heard that you went to the ancient Night Demon Palace and fought against the ancient Night Demon King. It is true. Jian Wushuang nodded. Shen Yun dominated Xiao Wu and looked at Jian Wushuang. Many people saw the battle in person and recorded the process of that battle with mirror commands. I have one of these mirrors in my hands. Order. And I and the other 3 took a closer look at the battle between you and the ancient Night Demon King and found that although you are the master of the rules, the power of combat is no less than that of the highest peak of the 2nd rank, and you the consciousness of the origin of the Kendo universe is so high that you even realize a bit of the lore of the universe. There is no doubt that the Lord of your blood sword is the most supernatural genius in the vast universe. It is rare to see in the billions of stars. Such a super genius is definitely qualified to be among the 9 emperors. Qi Jian Wushuang was silent. It is not surprising that the picture of his battle with the ancient night demon fell into the hands of Jodi Pavilion. After all, many people did see it at first. He is just the list of 9 emperors said by Shen Yun, but still makes him extremely confused. Shen Yun dominates. What is so special about these 9 emperor lists? Jian Wushuang asked. The 9 emperors list is actually a list of strong men. Anyone who is included in the 9 emperors list is my friend of the 9 emperors pavilion, and will receive extraordinary treatment in the 9 emperors pavilion all over the universe. For example, you do not have enough cosmic source stones to buy that Jinyuan god fruit, it doesn't matter, as long as you are on the list of 9 emperors, then my Jiujian pavilion can give you Jinyuan god fruit first. You only need to pay for the universe you can get the source stone. When you have enough cosmic source stones, you will return. And the people in the 9 Emperor list will be able to receive the greatest discount in exchanging treasure resources in any branch of the 9 Emperor Pavilion in the future, and even a lot of key intelligence information in the universe. If anything is useful to you, my 9 Emperor Pavilion will take the initiative to find you and inform you free of charge. You know, the universe is vast and the practitioners are roaming in the universe. A lot of information is not available in time, but the people on the list of 9 emperors do not have to worry about it. For example, the Lord of the Blood Sword, you will go to the universe in the midst of it. If something related to you happened somewhere in the universe, my 9 emperors pavilion would find you and notify you as soon as possible. Shen Yun, the master, smiled. This. Jian eyes glowed with strange light. He Shan listened to the dominance of Shen Yun that the people in the 9 Emperor list can indeed get great benefits from the 9 Emperor Pavilion. The information that is notified in a timely manner is of immense value. Wu Kejian Wushuang also understands that everything needs to be paid to be rewarded. Jiuding Pavilion serves such people in the Jiuding list, how can it not be returned? If I leave my name on the Jodi Emperor's list, what do I need to do for Jodi Pavilion? Jian Wushuang asked. One thing, Shen Yun dominated directly. What is it? Jian Wushuang asked. I don't know. Shen Yun dominated and shook his head, and laughed. Jodi Pavilion will open a convenient door for all the strong in the 9 Emperor list, and do our best to obtain intelligence resources for these strong, and my 9 Emperor court only needs the people in the Ju Emperor's list to do one thing for me Ju Emperor's court, but this thing is not fixed, but when you may just need your shot, I will ask you. Even if I went to invite you to Jodi Pavilion, you can still refuse, but you can only refuse at most twice, but on the third thing, you must complete it, or you will not only be removed from the list of 9 emperors, even in the future will be hostile to the 9 Emperor Pavilion. Is that so? Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows and understood the significance of the 9 Emperors list. The Ju Jeddah Pavilion will serve the strongest in the Ju Emperor list as much as possible, and meet some of the needs of the strongest in the Ju Emperor list, as well as sources of information. The people in the Ju Emperor's list owe a favor to Ju Jaij. In the future, Ju Jaij will ask him to do one thing, but what he does will depend on the actual situation. When will his shot be needed? The imperial court would invite him. But even if you ask, the other party can refuse twice. Chapter 39-39. The first is more. Shen Yun is dominated, you Jodi Pavilion, you can really do business. Jian Wushuang glanced at Shen Yun dominated. Although Jodi Pavilion did pay something, it can be exchanged, but it is the favor of a strong man, and these strong people are not ordinary people. Like Jian Wushuang, although it is only the master of the rules now, Jodi Pavilion is not considered by the eyes, but Jodi Pavilion knows that Jian Wushuang has mastered a little cosmic law. Super genius. How great is such a super genius? He is worthless now, but when he grows up in the future, it will have a great effect when it is critical. The Jodi Pavilion relied on some help to these strong men in the early stage, which made it unkind and included the name in the Jodi Emperor's list, but they paid only some completely acceptable prices for the Jodi Pavilion. For example, the so-called intelligence, Jodi Pavilion, is itself for intelligence. It can be said that Jodi Pavilion made a bet on a young strong man at a small price. Many of these young powerfuls may have failed to grow up and died before returning the favor of Jodi Pavilion. Only 1 out of 100 people has grown up, which is profitable for Jodi Pavilion. After years of accumulation, many names that still exist on the 9 Emperors list have grown into top-level existence, but they all owe the favor of the 9 Emperors court. What a terrible power! A list of 9 emperors alone is afraid of the power that is enough to make the vast universe ignore the forces or of the 9 emperors pavilion. It is no wonder that Jodi Pavilion can become one of the giants in the vast universe, spreading its forces in all corners of the universe. The Lord of the Blood Sword, I wonder if you would like to be my friend of Jodi Pavilion? Shen Yun dominated the smile and looked at Jian Wushuang. Of course I do. Jian Wushuang nodded. I have nothing to refuse. He really needs the Jinyuan God fruit now, and the only thing he can get is the way of the 9 emperor list. It is not a bad thing to include his name in the list of 9 emperors, and it is not a bad thing to become a friend of the 9 emperors. Although it will owe a favor to the 9 emperors, I am afraid that this personal relationship will be obtained for a long time. When he truly becomes the top power after that, Jodi Pavilion will ask him for more. Now and for a long time to come, Jodi Pavilion will only serve him with the resources it has used. I don't know if there will be a chance to become a top powerhouse in the future. If there is a chance, I will return the favor of the Jodi Pavilion at that time. Jian Wushuang smiled. Lord of the Blood Sword, there is a sign. You just need to leave your name and a drop of blood in the sign. Shen Yun dominated and laughed. More blood? Jian Wushuang stunned. Of course. Shen Yun dominated and laughed. The universe is vast, the number of practitioners is endless, the names are the same, I don't know how many there are, there is no convincing power at all, but the essence is the only one. Yes. Jian Wushuang did not hesitate, even when the word blood sword and a drop of his own blood were left in the order. After staying, the Lingfu slightly lighted up a special light. When he saw this, Shen Yun dominated and smiled, took Lingfu back, followed him and took out another Lingfu, the Lord of the Bloodsword. Starting today, you are my friend of Jodi Pavilion. There is a sign here to represent you. Wu Jiansu nodded slightly, and put the order symbol into the ring. I have done what you said, that Jinyuan God fruit. Jian Wushuang's words were not finished yet. The Lord of the Bloodsword, please rest assured that within 500 years, I will surely send all the Jinyuan God fruits and those treasures on this list to the Star Palace. As for the cosmic source stones needed, Blood the Lord of the Swords, you just need to give me the cosmic source stone you own now. As for the rest, you will return it later. Shen Yun dominated and smiled. Yes. Jian Wushuang also smiled. One more thing, now that I am already recognized in the list of 9 emperors, according to what you said, any information that has a lot to do with me, you Jodi Pavilion, they will notify me as soon as possible, so now you should know what I care about most. Of course, the Lord of the Bloodsword you care about most now is the Devil Star. Shen Yun dominated with a smile. Wu Jian Wushuang nodded. The Lord of the Bloodsword, according to the information I received from the Jodi Pavilion, the Lord of the Demon Clouds has been out of the customs not long ago, and has led his army to ride this cosmic boat towards this star field. It's so fast. It's no accident that around 950 years, the army of Devil Stars will reach this territory. Shen Yun dominated. Is it 950 years? Jian was eyes narrowed, and he said, I need your Jodi Pavilion to keep an eye on the movement of this magic cloud star for me. No problem, you can leave a messenger for the Lord of the Bloodsword, but whenever there is news of Devil Cloudstar, I will send it to you as soon as possible. Yes. Jian Wushuang left a summoning order, and then left directly with the Dragon Lord. After Jian Wushuang and the Dragon Lord left, Master Shen Yun stood with the other 2 masters of Jodi Pavilion, and all 3 smiled. Shen Yun, we have done a great job this time. One of the patrons laughed. It's a great achievement. Lord Shen Yun also laughed. The Lord of the Bloodsword has excellent talents, and his chances are also against the sky. After he fought against the ancient Night Demon King, I confessed some of his information going up. I paid great attention to the Lord of the Bloodsword. After all, it is the level of the ruler who understands a trace of the law of the universe, and it is still in the most marginal place of the universe. The above means that we originally wanted us to find a way and make friends, and to find ways to include his name in the list of 9 emperors. But it's not long before the name above was passed down. I have already done it, and I know above, it will definitely be credited to us. This credit does not say how much it rewards us, as long as we are transferred from here to those big a little territory, that's enough. 9 Emperor Pavilion, although a super force in the universe, can attach equal importance to genius. Especially the super genius like Jian Wushuang, which is rare in the billions of stars. Under such conditions, although Jodi Pavilion will not try to save its income like other great forces, it must be to make friends with it. Okay, after all, as long as such a genius does not fall, future achievements will never be low. I invited such a super genius to be a member of the 9 Emperor list, which is indeed a great credit. For Shen Yun, who is at the edge of the universe and the most barren starfield, dominates the 3, their chances of making contributions are too small. The credit now is big enough for them. Chapter 3940. Second more. After Zun emerged from the 9 Emperor Pavilion, Jian Wushuang and the Demon Dragon Lord marched side by side in the cosmic void. Master, in fact, you can just let the Emperor Pavilion come to you to help you with a 4th or 5th rank master at the cost of a rule of treasure. After all, most 4th ranks include many 5th level masters do not have the rule of treasure in their hands. At the cost of 1 rule of treasure, I am afraid that there are many 4th rank and even 5th rank masters willing to come. Demon Dragon Lord said. You may be right. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. It is possible to invite the strong to come out of Jodi Pavilion, but the territory where we are now is at the extreme edge of the universe. Even among the many nearby star domains, I am afraid that it is difficult to find a 4th ranking master. Not to mention the of the 5th series, so the Zhojian Pavilion was calculated. The strongest one you visit must be quite far away from our star field. Even if it depends on the cosmic channel for transmission, it may not be possible in a short time. Reach this star field. Furthermore, even if there are really strong people who can reach this territory within 1,000 years, I still have a lot of concerns. Jian Wushuang Zhengzheng said. Worry? The Dragon Lord wondered. Magic Dragon, you should know that I have practiced long, but it's only 200,000 years. But in such a short period of time, I grew up step by step. Although it is only the master of the rules, the combat power is even worthy. Dominate than the 3rd grade, and have also realized a trace of the law of the universe, and can even come up with the rule of Polaroid. You talk about, this is what ordinary people can do? Jian Wushuang looked at the Dragon Lord. The average person really can't do it. The master is talented against the sky. The Lord of the Dragons has not finished speaking. Talent against nature is only one of the factors. Jian Wushuang interrupted directly. No matter how good a talent is, in this star field, if you don't get that kind of opportunity, it won't be possible in such a short time. This is the step to take, at least, others must think so. The Lord of the Devil Dragons froze, then nodded slowly. It is true that even him, Jian Wushuang, thinks that Jian Wushuang is too bad and too abnormal. Moreover, this kind of inverse nature cannot be achieved by purely talents. It must have obtained some great opportunities and great fortunes. You think so too, then the question is coming. If I really invite a master of the 4th or 5th series with the rule of the treasure, this master can be completely out of my control, although I invite come, but who can guarantee his character? Maybe he will feel that there is a big secret in my body, and he will start directly. Jian Wushuang said. Yes, it is very likely. The Lord of the Dragons focused heavily. In fact, it's unnecessary to talk about others. Just say that the Lord Dragon himself, if he is not controlled by the sword, and he is the first time to come to this star field, knowing that there is Jian Wushuang, the incomparable demon genius, even if he is subject to when the other party invites him, he will certainly make the other party's idea. Wu Jianshuang has such concerns, and it is by no means unreasonable. Only an alien lord of the demon clouds has put me into a great crisis in the beginning. It is still on the verge of life and death. If another stronger person is attracted, who knows what will happen? Swordless eyes were cold. I dare not gamble, and dare not pin my hopes on strangers who I do not know and know. Rather than relying on strong external forces, it is better to rely on yourself. Magic Dragon, you go with me to Moyangu first. Jian Wushuang rode. Yes. The Lord Dragon nodded. Immediately, the two speeded up, and soon they came to the Magic Smoke Valley, one of the 3 major battlefields of the universe. Magic Dragon, you wait for me outside this valley of magic smoke. Jian Wushuang commanded. Yes. The Dragon Lord still commanded. Yang Jian Wushuang went directly into the Magic Smoke Valley alone, and soon came to the depths of the Magic Smoke Valley. Life and death. Jian Wushuang passed through life and death, but then shook his head. When I left that special time and space, although I finally came out of life and death, the entrance to that special time and space may not be here. China, and there is a big crisis in life and death, I still don't take risks. Jian Wushuang did not choose to enter the time and space where Lingyun's veins fell asleep through life and death. Instead, he went to the unexplored area of the Magic Smoke Valley in accordance with his own way of entering that space and time, and entered the area in accordance with the route. In that special time and space, the ash-like void is vast and immense. There is no light at all, and there is no sky or earth. I have, but nothing. This special space-time is completely different from the outside space-time. Fortunately, Jian Wushuang is not the first time to come to this special time and space, and he was not too surprised by the environment of this time and space. He set off directly toward the dark void in front of him. The dark void, Jian Wushuang swept for a while, before they saw the huge high platform floating in front. With that high platform, Jian Wushuang couldn't be more familiar. When he first came to this special time and space, he was on the high platform and was trapped by the 18 piers on that high platform for a total of 97,000 years. In the end, it was very difficult to break through the 18th battle and therefore pass the test set by the Ling Yunxing master, becoming the inner star disciple of Ling Yunxing's vein, and practicing the supreme insecure technique. At the time, Jian Wushuang also saw Feng Mo, the top powerhouse from Ling Yunxing's vein, in this special time and space. The Wind Demon, but an extremely powerful supreme, was just too injured in the original battle, and has been sleeping in this special time and space. And when Jian Wushuang left this special time and space, the Wind Demon also said that if you encounter any trouble later, you can come to this special time and space for help. Wu Zhenshuang came this time to ask for help. Okay. As soon as Wu Zhenshuang approached the huge high platform, he was immediately attracted by the scene on the high platform. I saw a young man wearing a battle armor and a wicked face on the high platform, waving a golden spear, and fighting 6 human figures. The breath on the young man is obviously the ruler of the rule, and he has reached the level of the 6 void realms, which is also good in marksmanship. Unfortunately, his marksmanship is obviously not the opponent of the 6 human figures. Being crushed by the 6 human figures, the situation was completely sideways. Soon after, the young man was defeated and returned to the most central part of the platform. At this time, he noticed Jian Wushuang appearing in the void near the high platform. Chapter 3941. Third More. Golden Snake Monarch. Wu Jian's twin shape flickered and appeared directly on the high platform. You are the Lord of the Blood Sword? When the evil-skinned man Golden Snake Monarch wearing a battle armor saw the sword unparalleled, he was shocked at first, but followed with ecstasy. I bet right. Gambling, right? Jian Wushuang doubted. Haha, Lord of the Blood Sword, you don't know. My golden snake has deep blood and enmity. My wife and children died in the same person, and that person is the king of Dongqing. The golden snake lord laughed. Dongqing king? Jian Wushuang immediately remembered the Dongqing king who had great fame among the masters of the rules of the stars. King Dongqing is a powerful man who has reached the extreme of the 6 realms. He is much stronger than the Golden Snake King. I dreamed of killing the Dongqing king, but unfortunately I was not strong enough to kill him at all, and I knew that my talents were limited. Even if it would give me another 1,000,000 or 10,000,000 years, I'm afraid I would also take this Dongqing king. There is no way at all, so I can only go to these 3 battlefields to venture out, take risks, and long for a great opportunity to kill the Dongqing king. But that great opportunity can be met but not demanded. For a long time, I have not gained anything, until I knew that you came out alive from life and death. The Lord of your blood sword, before entering life and death, his strength was average, not even as good as me. But after coming out of life and death, his strength soared, and he became the first person in the rule of the rule. It's a rival to the master. Obviously, you are in the territory of life and death, and you have reached an incredible opportunity, so your strength has skyrocketed. The king snake stared at Jian Wushuang tightly. So, you have come to life and death. Jian Wushuang also looked at the Golden Snake Monarch. Yes, life and death have always been a big forbidden area. No one has ever been able to come out alive, but you have come out. Since you can come out alive and get great opportunities from it, why can't I? So I choose to bet. I broke into life and death, and suffered several hardships in life and death. Every time I died, I survived, but I had good luck. I went through many hardships along the way. Until now, I have only come to this special time and space. On this high platform, even now, I have met you. Haha, if I can meet you in this special time and space, it means that you really did get a good chance in this time and space, I bet right. The Golden Snake Monarch laughed with a madness. Wu Zhenshuang looked into the eyes of the Golden Snake Monarch with a touch of compassion. This Golden Snake Monarch is because he has his own lessons learned, knowing that he has come alive from life and death, and has gained soaring strength, so he actively broke into life and death to seek the same great opportunity. I have to say that the Golden Snake Monarch is crazy, perhaps because of the deep revenge on the blood, he has never found the hope of revenge, and finally has a chance to face him, even if the chance is slim, he still wants to seize it. It's a pity that the Golden Snake Monarch is doomed to be disappointed. I got the chance in this special time and space, but as for the improvement of strength, I got up purely by my own ability in the process of getting the chance. And this Golden Snake Monarch has reached a bottleneck in his own strength. I am afraid that he cannot break through for a long time alone. He is now trapped in this 18 team. I am afraid that he will be trapped directly like the original Star Thunder Dominator. I can't leave without death. Golden Snake Monarch. Jian Shuangshuang said, "This time and space is indeed the place where my strength soared. There is a great opportunity here, but the condition for this great opportunity is that you can break through the 18th battle in front of you. For 10 million years, if you can break through the 18th battle in 10 million years, you will have the opportunity to avenge the king of Dongqing, but if you can't make it through, you can only die here." Is it 10 million years? The king of the snake's eyes narrowed slightly, and Zheng Zhenjian immediately turned his head. In order to get revenge on my wife and children, I will definitely break through. Good luck. Qi Jian Wushuang took a deep look at the Golden Snake Monarch and immediately left. He has already passed the test of the 18 final battles, and is about to leave now. Naturally, the 18 humanoid statues on the high platform have never stopped him. Passing from the high platform, Jian Wushuang continued to glide forward into the dark void. The 18 peerless strikes vary from person to person. At first, because I was just an undead saint, the conditions for going through the 18 peerless strokes were not so harsh, but it took me nearly 100,000 years to barely break through. In the past, the Golden Snake Monarch was a ruler. If he wanted to break through these 18 games, the conditions would be too harsh. Unless he can, as I do now, have an understanding of kendo even more than most third-level masters, and even created a big sword skill and 2 big sword arrays, otherwise, he wants to break into these 18 unique battles. It is almost impossible. Jian Wushuang shook his head and sighed. Of course, there is another way for Jin Shijun to break through the 18th battle, and that is to understand a little rule of the universe, but is this possible? Even if Jian Wushuang was in the dark, he went to the darkened demon realm and got the life core fragment of the undead ghost. With that life core fragment, he could comprehend a little cosmic law. This Golden Snake Monarch has never touched the laws of the universe before. Trapped in these 18 arrays, how can there be a chance to understand? He knew this, and Jian Wushuang said that he wished the king of the snake good luck, because in his opinion, the king of the snake was afraid that he could not go out alive from this special time and space. This Golden Snake Monarch may be because his wife and children have been killed. His heart has already collapsed and gone mad. For revenge, he can be disregarded, knowing that it is almost impossible to survive in life and death. He still has no reason to look back. To choose to bet. Jian Wushuang secretly sighed. If millenniums later, my primordial world is defeated in the battle with Demon Star, then the primordial world will completely collapse. Many of my family and friends, as well as countless strong people in the primordial world, will be difficult to escape the demon cloud the star's poisonous hand. Even if I escaped by chance, it is estimated that like the Golden Snake Lord, he will be completely insane and will desperately seek revenge from the Lord of the Clouds. Seeing the Golden Snake Monarch, Jian Wushuang had compassion on his heart, and at the same time thought of the situation he faced with Taichu Divine Realm. His heart was also extremely heavy. At this time, a golden light had appeared in front of Jian Wushuang. Chapter 3942. Forthmore. This golden light shines from the deepest part of this special time and space. As this golden light gets closer and closer, its light becomes more and more dazzling. When Jian Wushuang approaches, this golden light is like a huge golden sun, shining the whole time and space thoroughly. Wu Jingguang dissipated, revealing the appearance of a tall practitioner. He is tens of feet tall, wearing golden battle armor and boots, with a golden trench on his head, and a golden spear in his hand, a golden of war. Sword Wushuang, met Fengmo predecessor. Sword Wushuang salute. I saw Feng Mo again, and Jian Wushuang was still full of shock. You know, this is a living supreme power, different from the Lord Wu of the Red Cloud Realm. The Lord Wushan's body almost collapsed, and it has been relied on by the Red Cloud Realm to barely maintain it, and what Jian Wushuang saw in the Red Clouds is not the Lord's deity, but just an incarnation of its cohesion. Extremely powerful. The wind demon in front of Yun Ku's eyes, however, is a real deity. Although the wind demon has not been at its peak, he may not have recovered 20 to 30% of his strength, but at this moment standing in front of Jian Wu, he feels as if facing the entire sky universe, so tall and tall, but himself it is a trace of dust in the universe, very small. Wu Jian's unparalleled feeling, if this wind demon is willing, with one look and one eye, he can let himself die countless times. Little guy, how long have you been away from this space and time? Come back so soon. A golden battle armor, like a of warlike wind demon, the narrow eyes fixed on Jian Wushuang's body. Oh, break through to the ruler of the rule and I feel a trace of the law of the universe on you. What is going on? Predecessor of the wind demon, I have realized a trace of the law of the universe. Jian Wushuang said, and he waved his hand, and immediately the power of that law of the universe had condensed in his hands. Sure enough, haha. Feng Mo's eyes brightened, but then he laughed. His laughter was ancient and mighty, and this time and space trembled wildly. The ruler can understand a trace of the universe rule. Your kid is fighting for Ling Yunxing, and I really did not mistake you. Feng Mo seniors, don't hide it, I came here this time for your help. Jian Wushuang Dao. Help? Feng Mo still smiled on his face. I did say before, if you have encountered anything, you can come here to help me and say, what? That's right, my hometown is very special in the early days. Jian Wushuang briefly recounted the cause and effect of the incident. Within 1,000 years, no accident should be more than 900 years later, the magic cloud. The army of the Lord of the Stars will rush to this star field, and when the time comes to fight, I am not absolutely sure that I can win. Is that so? Feng Mo knew, that is to say, after more than 900 years, you will face a master who has reached the 4th rank, and this master has taken away one of the astral realms. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. It's a bit of a problem. Feng Mo frowned. My brothers were too badly injured in the original battle. Until now they can only stay in this special time and space, and have been asleep by special means, even if I can wake up occasionally, but after a while I have to continue to sleep, and our deities have shot it in person. And before I asked you to come to us in case of trouble, because I can attach my own consciousness to you, you are a perfect life cultivator, full of divine power, and after reaching the rule of the rule, the divine power also it is comparable to ordinary masters. I really encountered a strong enemy. My consciousness directly dominates the body for you. Although there is only the divine power of ordinary masters, but with my means, I can still easily kill ordinary 1st and 2nd level masters. Even if they are 3rd level masters, I have weaker ones. Grasp the killing, this is reasonably enough in your star field. Unexpectedly, the opponent you met this time has reached the 4th level. The double-sided color of the sword is also slightly changed. This is because the wind demon has survived from that war to the present, and has been sleeping in this special time and space. Over the years, there are also some practitioners who accidentally broke into this special time and space. This wind devil from those the practitioner knows that the strongest in this star field is the 1st level top master, and occasionally a 2nd level primary master will emerge. With this kind of strength, even if the demon can't take the shot, it can be swept away by relying on consciousness to attach to a rule master. Therefore, the wind demon said to himself with such confidence that if he was in trouble, he could come to they. But now, it is clear that the opponent he met exceeded the expectations of the wind demon. A 4th level master, attached to you by my consciousness, will definitely not be able to kill. I can only give you some special treasures that will allow you to kill the Lord of the Clouds. Feng Mo murmured. I have a lot of such treasures, not to mention killing the treasures dominated by the 4th level, even if it is the 5th grade, the ultimate level, and even the weaker and supreme treasures, I have them. But the trouble is that most of these treasures require a certain level of repair to master or guide them out. It's like having a blood demon bead in my hand, which contains the power of the horrible blood demon. Once urged, it can easily kill the ultimate master. But just to urge the blood demon's power in the blood demon bead, the strength of the 4th level and above dominates. As for the other treasures, most of them are similar to this blood devil. Wu Jianshuang heard it, and was a little dumbfounded. He understood the meaning of the wind demon, that is, he had the treasures killed by the 4th level master in his hands, but the key is that these treasures are extremely high level, and were not originally intended to deal with the 4th ranked master, but used to deal with the ultimate level of domination. To deal with the supreme, he used to deal with the 4th level of is a big deal. The most important thing is that even if the treasures are given to him, he can't use them, he can't lead the power out of those treasures. No way, I'm as supreme as I say, and I'm relatively strong among them. Although I collected a lot of treasures in my hands, these treasures must have a higher level. Those lower levels are only used to deal with the first. The 4th-ranked 5th-ranked dominator, I have long left it to his disciples, and now you want me to find a treasure that can deal with the 4th-ranked master and that you, the ruler of the rule, can guide. It's not easy. Howling Wind Devil looks a bit bitter. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.